If you've logged into Pokemon Go recently, you may have noticed that there is something new in Pokemon Go where you could choose a path, and it is a timed research specifically for the weeks where we do not have any in-game events. And yeah, I really wanted to talk about this. I feel like this could be a really positive change, and it does give players something to do on the weeks where we do not have any in-game content. Alright, how's it going everyone? Count Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about something that Niantic has been trying, and it's specifically regarding something for you to do during the weeks where we don't have in-game events. This is something that I was talking about recently, where it seems like their event structure is now going to be every other week. And that means for some weeks, we're not going to have anything to do within Pokemon Go. And I think it's very important that Niantic fills up those weeks with content for us to do, otherwise people are just going to be bored with the game. And it looks like they are actually going to be doing something. Recently, they are testing out something where you could choose a path for those off weeks. And depending on the path that you choose, you're going to be doing different forms of content, or at least being encouraged to focus in on certain forms of content and collecting various rewards for doing that content. Now, what is this choose your path mechanic? Basically, the way it works is that you're going to see a pop-up with 3 different choices, and depending on what choice you choose, you're going to be required to do various tasks related to that path. For example, there is going to be a path for catching Pokemon, there is going to be a path for exploring, and then there is a third path for doing a whole bunch of battles. Every single one of these paths involves different aspects of Pokemon Go, whether it be catching as many Pokemon as you can, getting as many kilometers as you can, or doing as many battles as you can. This could be raid battles or PvP battles, different things like that. Now, this is basically them trying to fill in the gaps, because as of recently with the current season, they have this new format where any in-game event is only going to be every other week. And then we're going to have off weeks where we do not have any kind of interesting content. I feel like this is a response to feedback that they received in the past where there was just too many in-game events in Pokemon Go. And they kind of swung the pendulum really far the other direction, where now it feels like there's not enough events in Pokemon Go. And I think because of that, they had to come up with something to keep players interested in Pokemon Go on those off weeks. And I think this could definitely be that. I think right now it's kind of in a bare bones state. There's not actually much regarding these paths that are actually quite interesting. It's basically stuff for you to do on the off weeks and collecting various rewards. I mean, if you choose the battle path, for example, it could be on a week where you know you're going to be farming the raid boss that's going to be appearing, or maybe you're going to be focusing on PvP. If you're going to pick the catch path, it could be during a community day during that week, for example. Like this week, I think we're going to be getting a community day on the weekend, and of course, if you were to pick the catch path, it could coincide with that. So yeah, it really depends on your playstyle. It really depends on your plans for that week. I feel like this is going to be pretty big for those who actually pay attention to all the content that's coming in Pokemon Go. Like if you watch my weekly what is happening this week in Pokemon Go videos that I upload every Monday. Like, you could take a look at that video, choose the path that's appropriate for it, and then go about your week. I think this is actually something pretty good. Now, another thing that I do want to talk about regarding this mechanic is that I feel like they could add a lot to it. I think the rewards are not really that substantial. It's just basically additional Pokeballs, different things like that. It'd be really cool if they did this every other week and they had some sort of exclusive Pokemon tied to it. Like for example, right now with the weekly challenges that you could do with your friends, you could pick up Moushold. I think it'd be really cool if there was some sort of Pokemon that you could get with these weekly challenges, with these weekly paths. And I think that'd be really cool. Maybe they could have one that you can only get with the battle path, another that you can only get with the explore path, and then a third that you could only get with the catch path. Wow. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, I think that would be a really cool idea. It's something for them to think about doing in the future. Now, what else does this mean for Pokemon Go? Well, if this mechanic actually sticks, if this ends up being very popular, it's something they could try out for very special events, like for example, Pokemon Go Fest. I think it'd be really cool if they did more branching timeline, special researches, and timed researches for those sort of events. I think they are always very popular. I mean, for Go Tour, for example, you would always choose between either of the versions of the region that it was featuring. For example, in the very first Go Fest, you get to pick either, I think it was Red or Leaf, and you would have different Pokemon spawns depending on which you chose. They kind of went away from that format, which I thought was kind of a head scratcher because I thought it was very interesting. And I don't know why they did not go back to it. I don't know. Yeah, but anyways, I think it would be really cool if they added more stuff like this, especially when it comes to in-game events. It gives players kind of like a unique experience from other players, and it gives players just something to do. I think that's definitely a great idea. But yeah, as of right now, it just seems like there's just a huge emphasis on the Go Pass. I think recently with the Steeled Resolve event, for example, a lot of players were complaining that in order to get the Super Rocket Radar, you now had to complete the Go Pass, and people felt like it was very pay to win. I kind of agree with that sentiment. I felt like this was something that they should relook at because the original way for you to get Super Rocket Radars was through special research stories, and you can kind of stack your Super Rocket Radars in that way. But they are going away from that, and I don't know if that's going to be a good move. In my opinion, I think something they could do is have these branching timed researches and have Super Rocket Radars as rewards. I think that would be a cool middle ground, in my opinion. I don't know, there's just a lot of potential here. I think this is all a really cool idea, and I'm curious to see where they go with it. I think there's just a lot of things they could do. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There's nothing else really to talk about. I feel like this is just them testing the waters right now with something that could potentially become a staple mechanic in the future. Yeah, let's see how it goes. I think it could be really cool. But if you have any thoughts regarding this new mechanic, definitely share it in the comment section down below. Do you feel like this is something that could be very successful? Do you feel like it's something Niantic should do for these off weeks? Or do you feel like they should just go back to the old format of weekly content? They should just have an in-game event every single week? I don't know. I feel like the community is kind of torn between that because yeah, in the past, it just felt like we had event after event after event. It just felt very tiring. But now it just feels like there's no content. We have maybe 1 or 2 in-game events every week or every month, and it doesn't feel like it's substantial. So yeah, I don't know. Share your opinions. I'm definitely interested and curious to hear what you have to say. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to support my channel, best way you could do that is by hitting the like button. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. That way you can get some more Pokemon Go content like this. And also check out the links in the description below. One of them is to my Patreon page, and if you want to play Pokemon Go with me, the best way you could do that is by becoming a Patreon member because I add all of my patrons. So yeah, if that's something that interests you, make sure you go and check it out. And yeah, with that said, that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself today, and I'll catch you in the next one.